incredible footage shows drone swarm navigate thick forest with eerie precision. We've never seen this before. The swarm of 10 bright blue drones lifts off in a bamboo forest in China, then swerves its way between cluttered branches, bushes, and over uneven ground as it autonomously navigates the best flight path through the woods. The experiment, led by scientists at Zhejiang University, evokes scenes from science fiction, and the authors in fact cite films such as Star Wars, Prometheus, The Blade Runner 2049, and the opening of their paper published Wednesday in the journal Science Robotics. The team, led by Xin Zhu, said, "Here we take a step forward to such a future." In theory, there are myriad real-world applications, including aerial mapping for conservation and disaster relief work, but the technology has needed to mature so that flying robots can adapt to new environments without crashing into one another or objects, thus endangering public safety. Drone swarms have been tested in the past, but either in open environments without obstacles or with the location of those obstacles programmed in. Eureka, a robotics at the Swiss Federal Institute of Technology, Lucerne said, who was not involved in the research, told agence France Presse, saying this is the first time there's a swarm of drones successfully flying outside in an unstructured environment in the wild, she said, adding that the experiment was impressive. The palm-sized robots were purpose-built with depth cameras, altitude sensors, and an onboard computer. The biggest advance was a clever algorithm that incorporates collision avoidance, flight efficiency, and coordination within the swarm. So they have to coordinate between each other as well. Since these drones do not rely on any outside infrastructure such as GPS, swarms could be used during natural disasters. For example, they could be sent into an earthquake-hit area to survey damage and identify where to send help, or into buildings where it's unsafe to send people. It's certainly possible to use single drones in such scenarios, but a swarm approach would be far more efficient, especially given limited flight times. Another possible use is having the swarm collectively lift and deliver heavy objects. There's also a darker side. Swarms could be weaponized by militaries, just as remote pilot single drones are today. The Pentagon repeatedly expressed interest in this, is carrying out its own tests. Soria said military research is not shared with the rest of the world just openly, and so it's difficult to imagine at what stage they are at with their development. But advances shared in scientific journals could certainly be put to military use, she said. Coming soon, the Chinese team tested their drones in different scenarios, swarming through the bamboo forest, avoiding other drones in a high-traffic experiment, and having the robots follow a person's lead. Zhu wrote in a blog post, "Our work was inspired by birds that fly smoothly in a free swarm through even very dense woods. The challenge," he said, was balancing competing demands, the need for small, lightweight machines, but with high computational power, and plotting safe trajectories without greatly prolonging flight time. For Soria, it's a matter of a few years before we see such drones deployed in real-life work. First, though, she said, they will need to be tested in ultra-dynamic environments like cities, where they'll constantly come up against people and vehicles. Regulations will also need to catch up, which takes additional time. This was originally published by Agence France Presse, and it's on Collective Spark by Agence France Presse. Please leave your comments. Thank you for your support. Kindly support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.